Hello YouTube, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. I've got some unboxings to do today, so let's get right into it. October happened and my birthday came and I bought some stuff from around then, and I just wanted to share what I got for like various parts of that month. By the time this goes up, it's going to probably be a couple of months after the fact. I'm just a little bit behind schedule, but this was some of the stuff from my birthday haul. First off, I'm trying some new paper for 2023, and the first one that I got was from Christoph. I've never tried their paper before. I know that they have pens. I've got one Christoph pen, but I also started a new fiscal year for my day job, and I needed a new book for notes for that. So I've never used Christoph. They make great fountain pens, but I'm going to go ahead and try a couple of the pens that I had on my desk. I'm going to use these back 2 pages. I will use this as my ink index, and I'll just do a really quick writing sample to see how these write on the paper, since I've never used it before. Let me just clip this down with a clip here so that it stays open. Oops, that one's not big enough. I use this binder clip just so I can kind of get this going. And the first pen I'll use just to get the heading done is a Copic pen, and this will be a pen test page. So the first pen I have is a Copic mile liner, or fine liner, I'm sorry. Fine liner. I love these pens. I use them a lot for drawing. That's a 0.3. That's what the line looks like. And of course it's not going to have a problem keeping up. And it's just a black ink. I don't think this is going to smear. It dries really quick on the paper so far. So that's the Copic fine liner. And as soon as I'm done, I'll flip the back to see how these worked out. This I'm going to go ahead and write with the Copic mile liner too. This is a mild liner. Highlighter. And this is the chisel tip. The dot. And if I use the big chisel, nothing is smearing, so it's drying very, very quickly on this paper. So that's that. Then I have a Sarasa gel pen. And this one is, this is a 0.5. That's the line. Of course, this is not going to have any problem keeping up, and of course I don't have to worry about the nib on that one. Here's a regular black ballpoint, and this is from the Hobonichi calendar from 2020. This is just a ballpoint. And these are probably and I think this one's a 0.38 actually. Sorry, 0.38. Might be a 0.5 because it seems to be similar in size. Of course, we're not going to have to worry about it smearing because it's a ballpoint. And then I've got 2 fountain pens. I've got my Opus 88 Bella in red. And this is an eyedropper pen, and it's vacuum sealed, so you got to open up this end to get the ink to flow. So this is the Opus 88. And this, I think, is the Bella in red. The ink is SBRE Brown. My nib is a fine steel nib. And I'll zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see that a little bit better. see here. And there we go. So it's a very smooth writer with that fine nib for the Opus 88. Had no problem handling that. And lastly, I'm going to use my TWSBI Eco 580. Oops. Eco 580 and a 1.1 stub. Steel nib. The ink is Diamine Vintage Copper. And I did that one separately, distinct from everyone. So that seems to be working very well. Very smooth with all the pens. So let's look at the back of this paper to see how it did. Handled it beautifully. No ghosting, no bleed through. So this is fantastic. I don't remember what the GSM is for this paper, so let me just check here really quick and see if I can find out what the information is. Okay, so for Franklin Christoph, they use a sugarcane extract or bamboo with pH neutral, acid free, and the properties of the Franklin Christoph formula. We use the same true system, international sizing of most notebooks and pads. These pads and journal notebooks are also work well with rollerball and ballpoint inks as well as pencil. Now available in paper options, ruled, graph, dots, or blank. So I got the dots. These gray notebooks were $7.50 off of the Franklin Christoph website. This particular one comes in an A5 or an A4 size. And it says smooth, resistant to feathering, absorbent, resistant to bleed through. And I would have to agree with that. I think that each one of these has 72 pages or a total of 144 pages. The lines, the ruled lines are 7 millimeters apart. Graph lines and dot lines are 6 millimeters apart. So I give this paper so far a thumbs up. I just bought it because I wanted to have some options for taking notes, like I said, for my job. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one to start off my new fiscal year for my job. So there's that. So that's the Franklin Christoph notebook. I have several packages here, and this one I unboxed. I don't know exactly what it is. It came from a source that just said international shipping. So I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what is in this particular package. So I just figured I would open it up with you guys and share, and hopefully it is something fountain pen related and not something else. So let's see what I got here. And I apologize. I went away in October, and so a lot of stuff came in at that time. And I know what this is. Okay, so this is very interesting. I bought this from Amazon. Gourmet Pens was doing a review of the Jinhao. I think this is the 1596 pen. And it says Jinhao on the cap. Round finials, cigar shape. This pen blew her away. And I think there was another person on that I saw on YouTube, and I'm sorry I can't remember who it was. But everybody who's done, I think this is the X159 pen, writes or says really good things about how this pen writes, how this pen performs. Oh, this is a pen sleeve, and it comes with a pen sleeve. And I bought mine in a fine nib. It's a two-tone nib. Hopefully you can see that up there. And this has got a good weight to it. Oh, and it's already got a cartridge converter in it as well. So I think this is interesting. I don't know if this is a design flaw but they have very interesting holes in the nib that almost look like you've got ink in your nib. That is really, really odd. Okay, so if it's a blemish on my nib, they've got a quality control issue. So instead of all that silver being right there, I've got, as you can see, like right here, scratches already on the finish. So I'm not really happy about that, but Jinhao pens are historically very inexpensive. So this one I got in a navy blue, but I think they have it in a black and maybe a green on the Amazon website. So I will put a link down below. I think if you guys like some of the products that I have that I've received from Amazon, let me know and I'll put my affiliate link out. You'll get a discount, I'll get a discount. It's a win-win for everyone. So let me go ahead and find an ink for this one just to dip it in and do a test ride, and we'll use that Franklin Christoph. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to go and I grabbed Yuletide from Diamine Inkvent Calendar. It's kind of a teal bluish green color. I'm gonna go ahead and use my test page here again. And I think I've got my swatch book of my chop off from customizing my Cosmo Airlight, so I will do a sample on this paper as well. And I'm going to just dip the nib in and see how this writes. All right. And this is a Jinhao. Just zoom in here. All right. So okay, I'm gonna have to submerge this a little bit more. Where the grip section kind of goes into the body of the pen, right here, it's too thin to go into the ink supply that I have for Diamine Yuletide, so I'm going to just do that, and I need to wipe down the body a little bit so it's not quite so messy. So this is the Jinhao. This does have a really smooth writing nib. This is the X159 and a 5-point steel nib. And I mean, this writes, it's worth the hype. This is Diamine Yuletide ink. Oh, this pen writes actually really amazing. I got this, like I said, off of the Amazon website. The cost for this pen was $6.39. So it's very inexpensive, but it's an extremely well writing pen. So kudos to Jinhao. I don't tend to always like their pens, but this one is worth the hype. I got this one in the blue acrylic. So there is that. That to the side. I think I'll just use that for future test. Oops. Actually, I wanted to write the ink on to the Cosmo Airlight paper as well. All right, so this is the Jinhao X159. I got a fine nib steel. My ink is Diamine Inkvent 2021. This is day 24, and the color was Yuletide. Really, really, for a cheap pen, this is a fantastic writer. I am impressed. I can now see why everybody was ranting and raving about this pen. It glides very well, not only on the Franklin Christoph paper, but as well on the Cosmo Airlight. And I don't know if you guys can pick this up off of the camera, but you've got some shading even involved on this Yuletide ink. Is just really, really nice. Let me see if you can pick it up a little bit on the Franklin Christoph paper, which I'm actually really quite impressed with. And I actually like the dots on this paper being a little bit further apart. And I'm also very impressed by the Franklin Christoph proprietary paper that they do on their own. I do think the quality of it is really, really good from just this initial testing. So I'm gonna put the Jinhao X159 to the side, my pen, and moving on and upward, I've got another small ink sample from Goulet. So let me crack into this. So I'm gonna grab my knife here. It's a little bit faster. We'll just do this. Don't even need a knife. Let's see. And this order was really small. I just wanted to get a couple of ink samples. So I'm going to just take I actually have a couple of orders from Goulet here. So I'll just do this first one because the other one will be another whole thing in and of itself. But I got Platinum Carbon Black ink sample, and I got Ferris Wheel Press Oyster Hour because I'm still trying to figure out what ink I'm going to be using for my one. Sandy sent me a nice little note. I have a sucker from them as well. It's a Tootsie Pop Mini. Put that to the side. I've got the Corgi, which is absolutely adorable. And then I was kind of surprised at how much I liked the first sample of Ferris Wheel Press Oyster Hour, and I ended up ordering 2 more. So really, really like how this ink looks. I've been surprised. I'm going to actually do a video towards the end of the year of inks that surprised me, that I found that I liked, that I didn't think I was going to like. But I really do like the Ferris Wheel Press. And then they sent me, I asked for a surprise ink sample, but they gave me Platinum Carbon Black, which I already have. So actually, that is not another one. I just ordered those 2, and then a surprise ink. Let me show you what Oyster Hour looks like on the Cosmo Airlight paper. It actually, because the paper is kind of like an ivory white, not a pure white, it's absolutely gorgeous. It just writes really, really well. Great color for the fall. Has a little bit of shading properties, not too intense, but a really nice ink that really surprised me. Okay, and I think the last thing that I will do on the paper review is this one. I bought, I am not ready to jump off and buy the larger book yet. I want to see how I like this paper first. So I went to the Onion Skin website. I just pull my information out, and I got one of the linen soft cover Cahier books from them because I really wanted to test out their Onion Skin paper. I've got some other Onion Skin journals that I've ordered previously that I actually really like. This didn't stick very well, so I'm going to try to use this in my journal book. So I'm going to just leave that like that. And let that be a loose one. Oh, this is actually, sorry about that. This linen cover paper, I'm going to zoom back out, is really, really nice. It says, thank you for your purchase. For the Onion Skin Journal, we love seeing any photos or videos of our journal on social media. Please feel free to share. So I will do that and let them know that I've posted something about their journal up. Nice stiff quality paper on the outside. Love the linen cover on the front. It just has the Onion Skin Journal on the back. I'm thinking about using this as an ink sample book as well, because I do like to, one, I love to do ink swatches and samples, but I like to see how it's impacted on different books. So what I'm going to do with their book is I'm going to go ahead, break the binding a little bit and clip their book and just start this off as an ink swatch. Ooh, wait a second, I might want to do an index first. So let me think about doing that. Setting this up really quick. Get the middle here. Maybe I'll do, I think if I do 3, I'm pretty safe with doing, just do a couple of these. As one thing about onion skin paper, you really do need to make sure you lift it up so that you've got just one sheet, because it's really easy to get more than one sheet. Okay, and I'll just do this as a eye down here. And I'll use this as an I3 down here. I'll just do this. And do this as an index page here. So I think I'll have 4, and then I can start doing swatches of inks. But let's do, just so I can just see what this looks like, let's do a really quick test page. And maybe I'll save the swatch pages for after I figure out how many colors of each that I have, because I know I have several bottles of ink after doing the ink vent calendar set, excuse me, from last year. So let me just do ink test pages. So what I think I'm going to probably do off camera is go through, number all the pages, get to here, and just kind of see what things look like. So we'll do the outliner first. Sorry, that is really quite tight. And then I'm going to do this Copic fine liner. Just to see what that looks like, and since I have this in my hand already, of course it's going to write buttery smooth on onion skin paper. Here's what the highlighter looks like. Sorry for the camera shake. Okay. And I'll hold this up as soon as I'm done with all of these. And I'll zoom in as well. Let's see if I've got any more ink of this one. A fine nib, steel. Oops, do it like that. Sorry, it's been a long day. Go like this. Nice amount of wetness on onion skin paper, which I think is a little bit absorbent, but it still streaks. Let me just do this ballpoint here in blue. And this is a uni ball, I think, or jet stream. Let me see what this one is. Yeah, this is a uni ball point. Blue ink. And then I don't have to worry about streaking at all because it's a ballpoint pen. This is the TWSBI Eco 580, and this is a 1.1 stub. My ink is diamine, vintage copper. Beautiful. It's like butter on glass. So smooth. Oops, I forgot about my Sarasa. This is a 0.5, and this color, I forgot what color this one is, so sorry about that. Again, it's going to keep up no problem. Don't have to worry about smearing because it's a gel pen. And lastly, open up the Bella. And we have Opus 88 Bella in red. This is a fine steel nib. I think it's a Bach nib at that. Great ink. And this is P.W. Ackerman SBRE Brown. Love this color. And that's what they look like. So if we flip it over, as to be expected with onion skin paper, very, very thin, so it's got a lot of ghosting, which doesn't bother me. But the paper itself is fantastic. So really quite happy with the paper changes or additions that I have. If you have any questions for me, please leave them below. Thank you very much for stopping by, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.